France in the 15th century was a land consumed by war. For generations, the English had fought the French, desperate to seize control of the French throne. The 100 Years' War, as it was known, had ravaged the once prosperous land. Villages lay in ruins, fields were barren. The French people yearned for peace but saw no end to the bloodshed. Their once proud kingdom seemed to be on the brink of collapse. In the midst of this despair, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected place. In the small village of Domremy, a young peasant girl named Joan began to experience visions. Joan was just 13 years old when these visions began. At first she was frightened and uncertain, but as the visions grew stronger and more frequent, she became convinced of their divine origin. The Archangel Michael, accompanied by St. Margaret and St. Catherine, instructed her to go to the uncrowned King of France, Charles VII. Joan was to lead the French army and drive the English out of their lands. Fueled by divine purpose, Joan embarked on a perilous journey to Chinon, where Charles resided. Dressed in men's clothing for protection, she traversed war-torn territory, her faith her shield and her visions her guide. She was a young woman on an impossible mission, yet her belief in her divine calling propelled her forward. Joan arrived at the royal court in Chinon, a figure of curiosity and skepticism. Charles, a hesitant and indecisive king, was initially doubtful of Joan's claims, but Joan, with the unwavering conviction of a true believer, looked into his eyes and told him things that only he, the true king, could know. She convinced him of her divine mission and her commitment to his cause. Recognizing the power of her conviction and the hope she inspired in the hearts of his people, Charles agreed to Joan's request. He allowed her, clad in shining armor and carrying a banner emblazoned with the fleur-de-lis, to lead the French army against the English at Orléans. The Siege of Orléans was a turning point in the 100 Years' War. Joan's arrival, a symbol of divine intervention, galvanized the French troops. Her courage in the face of danger and her unwavering belief in their cause inspired the demoralized French soldiers. Joan, though wounded in battle, continued to rally her troops. The English, who had been besieging the city for months, were demoralized by the sudden resurgence of the French army. Joan's presence, her unwavering faith, seemed to tip the scales. Within 9 days, the impossible happened. The Siege of Orléans was broken. Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orléans, as she was now known, had achieved a miraculous victory. Joan's victory at Orléans was a turning point in the war, but her story did not end there. In 1430, during a skirmish with Burgundian forces allied with the English, Joan was captured. She was betrayed by her own countrymen, sold to the English, and put on trial for heresy and witchcraft. The trial was a farce, orchestrated by Joan's enemies, who feared her influence and power. Despite facing relentless questioning and accusations, Joan held her head high. She maintained that she had acted on God's orders, her faith unwavering even in the face of death. On May 30th, 1431, Joan of Arc, the young woman who had saved France, was burned at the stake in the marketplace of Rouen. She was just 19 years old, but her story and her spirit lived on. Joan of Arc's story is one of unwavering faith, courage and resilience. She is a testament to the power of belief, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Her story continues to inspire generations, a beacon of hope and a reminder that even the seemingly impossible can be achieved with faith and determination. In 1920, Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orléans, was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, her place in history and in the hearts of the French people forever secured.